Alright, so we're going to be attempting to replace the screen on this OneXPlayer F1 Pro. So there's a lot of hidden screws here. I only saw one video, or maybe two, but they're like all sped up and not really good. So let's go ahead and try and get this apart. You're going to need some pry tools or good fingernails, and we're going to get underneath the little edge here. Okay, so I'm going to go under there, and we're just going to pull that up, kind of pulling it out that way while we're pulling it up. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this off. You can see how it just pops off like that. Okay, and now you can see it says OneXFly here instead of OneXPlayer. The screen says OneXPlayer. Alright, anyways, we're going to get this here as well. So same thing as the other side. Get in there, pop that out. Okay, and then we're going to pull it out sideways. There we go. So we got these two pieces out. Obviously, you want to make sure the thing is off when you're doing this. You don't want to pry it out and then start unplugging things while it's on. Alright, then I saw them kind of take this piece out, so I'm going to get in here. You can use pry tools. Again, I'm just using my fingernails, and you kind of want to wiggle it so that you're not just breaking clips or whatever posts under here. Okay, I just saw them kind of pry this, so I don't know, but let's see. Get under there, just pull it up. Okay, I'm going to go along the front now. Yep. Okay, so it helps to kind of go along the part closer to the screen. And you can see how it's kind of coming up like that. Let's do the same thing over here. Okay. And work your way towards the front. Oops, my fingernail, I had to cut that one because it's getting chipped off. But okay, let's see here. So this is going to do the same thing. Wow, it's not easy to pop this up. I'm kind of worried that something might snap off. So I'm trying to be careful and gentle with it. Oh, okay, so this one came out. Here you can see what it looks like, how it kind of gets underneath there and clips, and then it has these three little posts that kind of just hold it in place. Okay, so we'll set that aside, and we'll go ahead and pry this one out as well. And same thing, I think you go along the front if you can. Uh-oh, what's this? A piece of plastic fell out. That doesn't look good. Looks like a broken clip. Okay, there's actually a clip on the front and on the back. So, okay, why is this one not wanting to come out? So, lift this up and try, and there we go. Alright, and then flick it up. And here you can see both sides and the three little dimples on this side as well. I'm assuming one of the clips came from here? No? Where'd that clip come from? I don't know. Or the piece of plastic that I found. This. Unless it just fell from some other computer or something. I don't know. Anyways, we'll set that aside. And, oh, did it come from this? No? Okay, so you gotta be careful because the volume rockers and stuff are gonna fall out. So we're gonna lift this, kind of wiggle it around. Let's see. Careful because this whole thing, I think, pries up. Do you pry up this side as well? No. Why is the other side so difficult to get out? Alright, we're gonna drop the power button out. Oh. And we'll set that aside. Okay. Also take note which way the power button goes so you can actually see like that shape, okay? With the line. So we'll set that aside. And why is this? I don't want to just try and rip it out because I feel like I might break something if I do that. Let's get the volume rocker out. Okay. I think you can accidentally put it upside down, so make sure you put it the right way. Shoot, was it this way or the other way? Oh no, I might have to rewatch my video to figure out which way this goes back in there. Like, my brain would tell me the plus button goes that way, but I mean, it's easy enough to pop out, so if anything, if I put it in wrong, I'll just pop it back out later. Okay, can we get the rest of this out? Why is it stuck? Okay, I'm sliding my fingernail in there. Again, obviously you can use pry tools, whatever works for you. Okay, we'll try and pry this side out. There we go. And then looks like it's easier to do like one side at a time. That, and then the back, and then continue going. Okay, there's a clip there, so I'm going to hold that out while I again do that, and there we go. There's that piece. set that aside. There's a lot of screws in here, so keep that in mind. I believe we're going to be using a pH0. Let's see. Yep. Okay, pH0, JS0. You want to keep all the screws in order because they can be or are different size, shape, and lengths, all right? And mixing them up could be an issue. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this screw. They kind of hold themselves in there. Okay, so I'm using my fingernail to get underneath the screw while I pull it up if it doesn't come out with the magnet. Okay, I see 3 screws here. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. Okay, I see 3 screws there. What else? What else we got? Okay, there's a screw on the side here. Sorry, there's 2 screws on the side here. One, and then the lower one. Okay, get those screws out, and then we got 2 on this side. Same thing. Alright, sorry if I'm not showing it too well, but alright, this screw for some reason is stuck as well. There we go. Okay. Their screen is so broken that it doesn't even power up, or the screen doesn't light up, it stays black. Okay, so we got all of those, and then there's 2 more screws on the bottom here, so we'll remove those as well. Okay, hopefully we're not missing anything. And there, wait, are there 2 screws? Is there a screw? Yep, there's a screw under the sticker. So we have to lift the sticker up. I'm going to use a plastic razor blade, and let's see if we can safely peel this up. Okay, looks like we can. Okay, it looks like all that's under there is the 1 screw, so you don't need to peel that all the way off. Just peel it back so that you can access the screw. Okay, hopefully that's all we need to do, and hopefully we can pull this apart. Let's see, how does this come apart? Is there a spot I can pry? I'm getting my fingernails in the side here, okay, and it lifted up a little bit. Okay, yeah, let's see, it's wiggling. Okay, there we go. So kind of wiggle it, and there we go. Okay. And we gotta be careful because I don't know if any components are gonna fall out of this thing while I'm just taking this apart. We'll set that aside. Okay, I believe this is the battery here. And we don't have an access to the connector. I think we have to pull stuff out to be able to access that. So we're just gonna start unscrewing everything, but if you wanna go straight for the battery, let's actually try and do that first. Okay, there's the fan connector here as well, which most likely we're gonna have to disconnect that before we can get other stuff out. So let's see, I'm assuming we're gonna have to remove this one holding this plate here. Again, there's a lot of screws, so try and keep them in order. I just put them flat side down on my desk in the pattern I remove them, like that. Okay, we'll get that guy out. I don't know if we have to get the other one. We'll get this guy out. Let's actually also get all the fan screws out. Maybe I should just pull them all out just to be safe. Let's get this out as well. One thing that's kind of a little bit annoying is the screws kind of get stuck in there. Okay, yeah, I didn't think I have to take out that one, but just take it out just because. I don't think we need to take that one out either. Okay. This one up up here. We got one down here. Okay, there's one more down here. Be careful for the cable. You don't want to damage the fan cable. Okay, it looks like that just keeps spinning. That's probably attached. All right, there's another screw over here. Oh, I don't think I need to take that one out. Now there's a little metal piece sliding around there, but too late. All right. That's why you're watching this video, right? To figure out what you need to do. All right, we're gonna peel this up. Get that out of the way. Now we can lift the fan out. I actually don't know if we had to take the fan out to, honestly. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and now disconnect the fan connector down here. I'm just gonna grab as close to the connector as possible with the cables and wiggle as I pull. All right, and there we go. Actually, it came out relatively easily. Yeah, I think the fan can stay attached to this metal plate thing. Let's see, can we lift this up? Yeah, so we could have left this attached, and we did have to undo this screw. So this metal plate, this metal thing is going to be moving all over the place, so yeah. Okay, and it goes on top, right? Yep. All right, so you have this little piece that goes in here like that, and the fan is over here. But yeah, we can actually reconnect the fan to this base. We didn't have to remove the 3 fan screws, but if for some reason you want to remove the fan, that's how you would do it. Okay, 3 screws. I'm going to loosely fit these screws to get this back in, and I'll kind of go over which screws we did need to remove if you were doing this just to replace the fan. Okay, well, I'll leave these screws loose for now, and then we'll tighten them later. Alright, so we got the fan out. We'll set that aside. For the fan, we had to do the 3 at the bottom, and then the one in this corner, the one towards the center here. Oops, sorry. So the 3 at the bottom, and then we had the one that was up here, not the bigger one down here. We didn't need to remove that, but we'll probably need to remove it later to get to the screen. I'm going to move it somewhere else so that I have it easily lined up where I need. Let's see here. Okay, sorry, I'm going to rearrange the screws on my desk so it's easier to keep track of. Okay. And yeah, that connector. So we needed that other one there, and that's it. Okay, so 3, 4, 5 screws. All right. Anyways, next we are going to have to remove the heatsink and redo the thermal paste to get underneath. But let's go ahead and, yeah, just start taking out all the screws. So we got one up here. And obviously there's an SSD there. Oh, wait, actually what I should do is disconnect the battery first. Okay. So, let's see here. I believe the battery connector is this guy. And to get that out, you just get underneath and then pop it up just like that. All right. At least I think that's the battery connector. It could also be this one up here. So, oops, sorry, this one up here. So I'm going to pop that as well just in case. And then just to make sure, we're going to try and turn it on and see if anything happens. All right. So what buttons were there? There was the little left button. Then the power button is the second one. Okay, so we're going to hold this second button to see if anything happens. And it's still turning on. Uh-oh. It's not good. You see how it's powering up? Oops, sorry. Oh, I don't know if you saw it, but it was on. Or maybe, okay, maybe we did disconnect. Oh, no. No, it's still powering on. You see that? So, no, we need to make sure to turn it back off. Okay, so where is the battery connector then? So is this connector? I can't tell here. Oh, there we go. This is the battery connector. Okay, I can tell by how it looks, and actually, I'm blind, but right there above it sorry, right there above it, it says bat. So now we can hold the power button. Hopefully I didn't mess up anything by doing that. I hope not. Anyways, we're going to hold the button here. And usually I'll hold it for about 15 seconds to drain any residual power. Makes it a lot safer to work on these devices, okay? I'll hold it a few extra just to be safe. But yeah, there we go. Okay. Now let's see here. Do we need to pry the battery out or anything? Should I leave it in there? Let's see. I'm going to try and pull the battery out. So the battery, I'm pretty sure it has some adhesive. I'm going to hold the whole thing down, and I'm just going to kind of pull on this. Slowly, okay? You don't want to put too much force. This thing on top is a thermal pad. So, yeah, right? And we're going to slowly, carefully try and peel this battery out. Wow, this is not easy to get up. The adhesive under there is pretty strong. Okay, there we go. Sounds like it's coming up. Hopefully we're not pulling any cables out. I don't know if you can see in there, but we're just gonna pull this battery up slowly. Okay, and here's the battery pack, okay? Right, it's in this like little folded over envelope thing. Okay, and again, there's a thermal pad, so try not to get it dirty because then it won't be as thermally conductive, right? So we'll set this aside. All right. Okay, so inside, this is the screen connector here. How are we gonna push the screen through? That's the thing I'm confused about. I'm not 100% sure how the screen's even holding on to the inside of the device. Since we're just replacing the screen, if you look at the, let me show you here. This is the replacement screen. The only thing I see here is adhesive there. I don't think that's going to be enough to hold the screen on into place. So they probably also put adhesive along this. And I don't know if this is, I mean, this isn't sticky under here. It's not sticky. So I'm not sure how they're holding the screen in place, unless on the original one they actually put some kind of sticky pad under there. I could technically, if I can disconnect the screen, I can just shove it through, I think. Let me see here. How is this? I want to see what the original or the replacement looks like so I can make sure if I can push there. I think I should be able to. That's the screen. Because the customer only needs me to replace the screen, nothing else. So we're going to go ahead and try and peel this cable up. And you got to be careful. Okay, there's an M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD here. Okay, I don't know if they upgraded that. Well, actually it says Acer on it, so I don't think they upgraded it. There are other videos showing how to take the whole thing out. It looks like I could easily do that, but then again, I'd have to redo the thermal paste and everything here. So that's not something I want to do if I don't need to. So we're going to try and peel up this here. And you want to try and keep this cable flat. You don't want to roll it too much if you don't have to. Okay, so I'm just carefully trying to peel this off. There we go. All right, so we're gonna pull this out of the way. Hopefully this connector, nothing will be damaged. It doesn't look like there's too much to this except for that little connector there that is from the screen. So let's go ahead and peel that up. Okay, so we'll peel this Kapton tape and we'll set that aside. Okay, now to disconnect the LCD cable, there's a little flip latch here. I'm going to zoom in here for you. So we're going to flip this latch here. All right, and once you do that, we should be able to disconnect the cable here. The only thing is there's not really much room to work here. Pulling out the other components isn't going to give me more room. So there's really no point to pull out other components. We just need to get underneath the connector here. Okay, make sure you're not using something that will like dig into the cable. So I'm gonna get underneath. Actually, let me try with the nylon or whatever this material is. Okay, so we're gonna get underneath with this, and then I'm gonna hold back here and I'm gonna twist to kind of lift, and that should pull the cable back. There we go. So here you can see now we have the LCD cable out. Oh, okay, I see. So the LCD cable actually connects from there. Oops, let me zoom out. To this. So this is the LCD cable. What was the other cable that I removed up here? That was battery one. Oh, sorry, that's this. Okay, so yeah, technically we didn't need to remove, well, you remove these later, but we didn't really need to remove this one. This is the LCD cable, but it does give you room to actually, you can pull this back and it makes it easier. So we'll use that to help guide this cable back in later to make it easier to put back. Okay, and it looks like there's nothing else, so we're gonna try and just push the screen through this hole. I'm gonna slowly push on it, just apply pressure, and make sure I'm not actually holding anything around here. So I'm gonna just very gently apply pressure, or not gently, but slowly but firmly apply pressure, and hopefully it will eventually pop out. Usually you'll hear the adhesive kind of slowly letting go. And hopefully it's not just gonna explode the glass. I do see cracks in there. Okay, you can actually see there's a gap. I don't know if you can see. There's a gap kind of forming there. Sometimes what you can do is, if there is adhesive, is you can put like a drop of isopropyl alcohol. There are other electronics around here, so you do want to be a little bit careful here. I'm just going to try and put a drop there, so it'll fill the little holes here on its own. Okay, and since I'm pushing from this side, I'm just going to put a little on this side as well. Okay, but again, I don't know where all the adhesive is that's holding it, so because I can't see underneath. But yeah, all right, let's go ahead and try and push on this again and see if it's, you see how it's popping out more now? Okay, so we're gonna slowly work our way. It is forming more cracks, but it is what it is. I mean, the screen's already broken. Once you get a crack in the screen, it's gonna kind of just spread. Okay, so let's see. Okay, now I'm gonna apply pressure on this while kind of trying to pull it down here, and then while I'm doing that, I'm gonna try and put some isopropyl alcohol in this gap up here, and hopefully that will allow it to release, assuming it's adhesive that's holding it in place. If it's something else holding it in place, I have no clue what's going on. I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to come out. Try to put some more isopropyl alcohol in there and then push on it. It lifted some. I don't know what else would hold it. If you can get like a string under here, maybe you can use that to help pull it up. But let's see. Maybe I'll try with getting some of this tool under there. Okay, so we'll just get that under and slowly work our way down. Oh, okay, I think that's working. I think it's getting the isopropyl alcohol between the touchscreen and the digitizer. It's one thing. So I don't know, we'll see. Alright, we'll continue working our way down. I see the layers of this separating. I don't know if you can see the colors changing there. So, I don't know. I hope this is going to come out. I don't know what's happening here. It's holding very tight, but it is coming forward a little. Okay, I do feel like, okay, yeah, you can see I'm pushing it and it's coming out further now. So, I think they do put adhesive all around the edge. So I don't know, the replacement only has adhesive on one side. That's kind of weird. All right, now we got that. I'm gonna use a popsicle stick to help pull this and keep it forward. All right. Sorry, I got too much junk all along the side of my desk. So I'm gonna get a popsicle stick. Sorry. I'm gonna get it into this gap here on the corner. Okay, just like that. And that will hold it forward, okay? And while we're doing that, we're gonna continue working our way over slowly. Okay, do this very slowly and it should eventually all peel out. Okay, I'm just slowly sliding this tool along. And it's separating the LCD from the... Okay, now it's not wanting to really budge, so we're gonna put a little more isopropyl alcohol in there. I see the two layers of the screen separating from each other. All right, we're gonna put a little more isopropyl alcohol in there. Just a little. Okay, don't put too much. And just slowly continue working your way down. I don't know if you can see, but it's slowly pulling. There you go. All right, we got the whole top side out. All right. And now we're slowly working our way down the other side. Okay, I'm gonna get my fingernail in there and then try and get this tool down here. There we go. All right, I hear all the adhesive peeling up. And we're gonna continue working our way down. And I hope their screen was the only issue, because the completely, like the backlight, nothing was on. Okay, we got the side out now. Now we only have this long edge left to go. So we'll continue working our way. Oh, it's getting more cracks. Continue working, oops. Continue working our way down and along the bottom. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they put adhesive along the entire frame. I'm gonna put a little more isopropyl alcohol in here. Okay. And come on. Go along the edge here. And just keep working our way over. I don't know how you would remove this if it was if you were trying to just remove it and keep it intact, because it's completely shattered now. Okay, get the popsicle stick under there again. Oh yeah, I can see the adhesive. You see this? Oops, sorry. You see that? There's adhesive there. But it's a very narrow strip. I don't know how I'm gonna put new adhesive there. That's a super narrow strip of adhesive. Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna put new adhesive there. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and continue working our way down here. Maybe that's why they only put that one strip. They're probably like, we don't have that kind of adhesive. Yeah, I'm just gonna shatter the whole screen because it's broken anyways. There's no point. Alright, we're almost at the end. Oop, the popsicle stick fell out. I'm gonna move it. Oops, sorry. I moved it up there now. Okay, and we're just gonna continue getting all the way down. And there we go. Alright, the screen should pop out. There's adhesive still holding on it. Okay. Here's what the inside looks like. You can see the adhesive strip here. It's not adhesive, it's not sticky anymore, so actually, is that adhesive or is it a seal? I don't know. What? I don't know. I don't know how it was, what this is. Oh, I see. I think they applied glue. It's not like a... Wow. So it's some kind of rubbery glue. It's not actually like double-sided adhesive or double-sided tape. It's like some kind of gasket glue. I don't know. All right. Anyways, we're going to have to peel all of that out, I think. Okay. Let's just peel all of that out. What a weird design. I don't know why they didn't just put the double-sided adhesive for both sides here. Kind of annoying, honestly. That's why it was so hard to peel it up. They just put a glue in there. But how am I gonna glue it back on? I don't know. I don't have whatever this stuff is. I don't even know what it is, so. Also, I don't know where the part came from because the customer brought it to me. So they bought it, they brought it to me, and yeah. Okay, so this is what it looks like underneath. This is actually sticky, but I think that's just the layer of the LCD and that, yeah, they put like some kind of glue. You can see it's even on the cable itself. So we'll set that aside. I think there's probably all glue or something there. I don't know. How am I gonna stick it back down? I could probably technically put some double-sided adhesive there. I don't know. Alright, anyways, we're gonna peel this blue thing off the new screen. I like to roll it this way instead of pulling it up because otherwise it can separate the layers and cause damage. So I'll take that off. Okay, and this will basically just sit back in this little gap. Okay. Again, how am I going to do this? Oh, I accidentally dropped the whole cable out. So, wait, what? This, oh, yeah, because now the screen's not holding it. So, this was underneath. So I could technically now just reconnect this first. All right, we'll flip this latch up. And then we'll get this cable in. Make sure it plugs in all the way. Okay. And then I'm going to latch that down. There we go. Now when I go to put this back in, like this, make sure that this, you can see that hole there, make sure this cable goes into there. And then it will drop like that. Okay, so that will go like that. Now we could easily plug this back in. But again, we need to figure out how to do the adhesive bit. How am I going to do that? Should I put double-sided tape here? I mean, either way, the screen is, like, the original screen is fried, right? So, let's see. What am I going to do here? I'll repackage the old screen for the customer in case they want it. For whatever reason, I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to just stick this thing on here. Okay, so this is the old broken screen. I'll package this back up for the customer. So we removed a few extra screws that weren't needed to be removed, but I mean, it's fine. All right, we'll set that screen aside. All right, how am I gonna stick this down? Because one side is not gonna be enough. Let me see if my thinnest, even my thinnest acrylic adhesive, I think is too wide. Or that's not the thinnest, is it? Huh? Do I have a thinner one? Oh yeah, okay. We're gonna have to use some maybe double-sided acrylic adhesive. So I have this super thin one. And maybe I can apply it around the outer edges, even though they didn't do that originally. Because why not? Alright, so I'm going to apply this along the outer edge. I don't know why they didn't do something like that, but it is what it is. Okay, so I'm going to just peel this up, and hopefully I can cleanly attach this down, because this adhesive is so thin. I think it's like 1 millimeter thick, or wide, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, we'll cut this off. And usually what I'll do is you cut more than you need, okay? Here's what I found the best way to do this is cut more than you need, go to the center. You don't need to really do it to the center, but cut that off, okay? And then we'll go to the very outer edge as far as you want it to go. Stick that down. God, this thing's too thin. Okay, and then we'll go all the way across and stick that. I'm going to need to use my tweezers to do this. Okay, we'll use these little tweezers and just line it up to the outer edge. Okay, then we'll stick that down. Here we go. We'll grab the other side. We'll do the same thing. Okay, you get the idea. If you want, you can fast forward past this part, but yeah. We'll stick that down to the outer edge. Okay, and you can now see where it overlaps, or where it will overlap. And from there, you can cut it. You can leave a little gap. You don't need to cut it perfectly. And that way you have kind of, at least the edges are completely lined up. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and stick this down. And we'll stick that down. Just like that. Okay. We have that little gap there, but it's fine. All right. We're going to go to the other side. Hopefully I can get it on this as well. I don't know if that's, oh yeah, it will reach. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing over here. Okay, cut a little more than we need. Cut it in half. Again, you don't actually have to cut like in the middle. You can just cut anywhere so that you can form a little gap there. Okay, now yeah, that's going to be tough. Also, if you're wondering why I'm recording the entire thing and not editing this stuff out, it's because when I work on stuff, I hate when people upload videos like that, and then you think it's going to be a quick, easy job, and then you go to do it, and they cut out like 2 hours of labor that you're going to end up having to do, right? So I mean, if you're watching for entertainment, I understand, but I'm doing this to educate people, not to entertain, okay? So, I mean, if you find this entertaining too, that's nice, but I want people to understand that it's not going to be a simple job if they're going to be ordering the part and trying to do this themselves. Okay, so there we go. Stick that down. All right, and then we got the second piece here. And I really hope this is going to stick, because otherwise it might lift on one corner and that won't, I mean on the other sides, and that's not going to be nice, so. This is, okay. Right, sorry, I'm trying to get it to stick. Okay, got that. Now we need to cut the excess again. Very careful here because the screen cable's there. You don't want to damage it. Okay, I need to cut about. Oops, cut extra. Okay, there's that. And we're gonna work our way down. Stick that down. Press it in place. Okay, there we go. And now we got the last edge here. That edge is much wider. Maybe I can use the wider piece. Let me see, that's towards the bottom. I'm gonna see about using the wider one. It's easier to work up with. Is it wide? Is it too wide? Let's see. I think this one's like 2 millimeters thick instead of 1. I don't know. We'll see. I think it will fit. Okay, where's the edge here? Okay. Yeah, I think it should be okay. All right. All right. We'll cut in half again. Okay. And oh no. It might be a little bit too wide. I don't know. Is it? It might be a tiny bit too wide. Okay, I wasted this tape. It's a tad bit too wide, so I do have to stick with the really thin 1 millimeter one. And yeah. Sorry, I know I'm taking extra time, but again, you need to know if you're doing something like this, how much time it's gonna take. All right, including how much time to peel the tape out. All right, here we go. Also, be careful because lint and stuff will stick to the tape, and then if you put it down there, it's gonna basically be sticking out. All right. Okay. Oh wait, did I just measure the short side again, or? Whoops, why did I measure the short side? Okay, sorry. Okay, well, look at that. This can be the center. All right, let's go ahead and stick this. Stick this on. Okay. I need like a tape edge roller kind of thing. Oh. Somebody should make a, maybe they already have one, but okay, stick that down, press that down. Okay, got this edge. Whoa. Okay, and we'll get this edge. that down. Oh, I think I actually cut it almost perfect length. Okay. So we'll stick that all down. Okay. Now we need to peel up the protective layers of all the adhesive. So we got the main one, this big one. Okay, and then we got all the little ones. So I'm gonna peel the ones from the center, because if you peel from the outside, it's more likely to peel itself up later, the adhesive, okay? So you don't want the adhesive to peel itself up. Okay. Here. Okay. Come on. I need some better tweezers for this. Come on. keeps going back down. Okay. All right, last two pieces. It scares me how thin this panel is. It's not wanting to peel. I guess we're gonna do the outer edge. Okay. There we go. Okay, all that's out. Now we just gotta carefully stick this on. Okay. Okay, make sure again that you line up the connector through that hole, because once you drop this on, you're not going to be able to take it back out. So make sure this connector goes in the right place. Okay, get that down in the hole. Get in there. Okay, and then I'll drop this corner in. Line up the other edge. Good. And drop the whole thing. That protective layer is kind of throwing me off because it's not on completely straight, so it looks like it was not sitting in properly. But okay, now we'll stick the whole screen down. Okay, good. Flip this over, reconnect this cable. Line it up. It's a little tricky to line back up. Why is it so difficult to line this up? Come on. Oh, it's because the connector's not in the center of this piece. All right, so there we go. That's just by design. All right, now we're gonna reconnect this cable. Okay, click that down. Good. All right, as you can see, I left it kind of bowed up here. That's so I can now push this down. Okay, you're gonna, while that's plugged in, you tuck this over in there and then work your way down. Same thing, pull this over into the side, and then now that both sides are out, you can stick that down. Okay, and then this excess will get pushed down by the battery and stuff. Okay, let's go ahead now, put the fan back in. We did take out 2 extra screws that we didn't need to, so let's go ahead and put those back in. All right, so this one up here near the right trigger, and it's always a good idea to twist the screw backwards to get it to fall into place. You can actually hear it click. All right, and then the other screw we didn't need to remove was this one here. There we go. So now we got it all reassembled there, or sorry, the screws back in. We can go ahead and put this back on. All right, so this, let's see, it's set like that, and the fan connector goes over here. Oh, I forgot, this little piece of tape, we can put that back. Oops, I taped that back down. So let's get this back up. I should have taped it back before I put the screen in, but now it's too late. All right, anyways, let's peel this back out. Okay, and this goes back here. So if you see, this tape actually went slightly under the plastic here, but I don't know if I can put it back under there now. Not like it really needs to go under there. Anyways, we'll stick that back down. Okay, we'll get this connector back in again. It's easier to hold it sideways so you can kind of see where the connector is. Let's see from the top here. This double-sided adhesive. Come on, stop sticking. Why is it so difficult the second time? Okay, it's trying to, oh, I need to make it fold itself backwards again so it doesn't stick to itself again, or stick right away. There we go. Okay, click that down. Perfect. Pull these out to the side, and then again stick that down. Perfect. All right, the fan now. Sorry, this is taking so long. The fan, you just drop it down. Make sure this lines back up, this metal plate here. Okay, so there were only 4 screws that we took out that held this thing down. So this one up here. This one in the bottom corner. Just like that. Okay, this one in this bottom corner. Oops, I dropped a little metal thing. Give me a second, let me find it, I'll be back. All right, I'm back. I'm honestly not sure what this little thing does. Oh, I see. It's to cover the battery connector. So, it makes it so you don't accidentally unplug it, I don't know. Anyways, you can go ahead and put the battery back in here, or I guess it would be easier to plug the battery back in before we put this. So should I take that back out? So this metal plate is just to block the battery connector. I'm going to take the whole fan back out actually, so I have more room to plug it. It'll be easier that way. So we'll take the fan back out. Sorry for going back and forth. Okay. Alright, so we'll take this guy back out, and that way we can get the battery back in first. So line everything up. I like to push it all the way over to the side if I can, and then drop it down. Alright, this is the battery connector. Line that up. Make sure everything else is connected, and we can go ahead and plug the battery connector back in. It's hard to line this up, but there we go. Okay, battery connector's back in. Let's go ahead and get the fan back in as well. Okay. Get that in. Get this one in. Okay, one more here. All right, and this just covers that battery connector there. Okay, so this goes back in there. It's a little bit tricky, but drop that in. Push that over. Okay, I slid that. Oops, sorry, I should zoom in for you guys. So I slid this metal plate over here just so it's as far over as possible. Okay, and then one other thing I like to do is I like to pull the fan up against the heatsink before we tighten these fan screws back in that we took out earlier. Okay, again, if you didn't take those out earlier, then you don't have to worry about this part. Okay, now that we got all the fan screws tightened as well, we're going to go ahead and put this adhesive thing back on top. Okay, and this basically just closes the gap here so all the airflow can flow through the heatsink. Okay, actually, let's go ahead and, okay, I'm gonna push this down into the corner there so that it seals this outside edge as well. There we go. Okay, fan is back in. We do need to plug it back in, obviously, so the cable's here. And make sure you don't flip it upside down if you get a replacement fan. Okay, you can see the metal gold connectors here. They face towards the sticker here, okay? So we'll go ahead and get this lined back up. All right, also if you're wondering, the back of the connector is the rainbow colored of wires. So there we go, line that back up, okay? And I'm gonna use this little tool to push it down, because it's really tight in there, so not much room to work with. Even that's too big, so let's try and use the pokey end. Okay. All right, I think we got all the essential components back in. So let's go ahead now and turn it back on and hope the screen looks good. So we're gonna push the button on here. Lights are coming on. The fan is spinning up. Okay, there's a chance that it might be resetting BIOS or something, so it might take a while to come back on completely. So just be patient. If it doesn't come back on, then I don't know, something's bad. Okay, everything's lighting up here. There you go, OneXPlayer. So we should be good. You can peel off the protective coating layer. All right, what happened? It just went back to black. Is it booting up? Oh, there you go. Now it's loading. Okay, so we should be good to go. Let's go ahead and get everything else back into place, and that should be it. Okay, we'll zoom back out. Okay. We'll get this. Oh, it's making noises. Make sure you get this lined up right, the fan vent. Okay, and then just click it all back in. Oh, it's on. All right, so there we go. Customer will be happy. I'm going to push this button. I'm happy I didn't have to completely disassemble this thing, because that was not going to look fun. Like, I do this stuff for a living, okay? I'm not doing it for fun. Okay, anyways, we push it together. It is somewhat fun to do this stuff, but yeah. All right, anyways, pinch this together. But it's not like I do this for my entertainment, so keep that in mind. All right, get all these screws back in. Make sure you only put the screws where you can see the silver threading there, okay? Don't put it in those other random holes or you can cause some problems. Alright, now we got those 3 top screws back in. We can go ahead and put this on. Oh shoot, I forgot to check which way is the volume up and volume down. So let's see if we can see that now. Okay, yep, that's volume down. So the negative will go that way. It was intuitive, just like I thought. And that will go that way. Then we'll line this stuff all up here. I think I have customers probably trying to call me, but I'm trying to get this thing done. Okay, oops. The volume is getting pressed. Okay, so now we just got to get this back in. So line it up, push it down. Okay. Line it up. It helps to kind of pinch the sides where the clips are in so that they go into the proper spots. Okay. There we go. And why is this side not going down? This clip is stuck, so you gotta kind of push in on the clip and then push it down. Hopefully. Let's see. Why is it not going down on this side? Oh, the other clip. There we go. This clip. There we go. Okay. I think that's that in all the way. Looks good. Turn that off. Okay, perfect. Hopefully the clips went in completely, because the back, I think that's just how it is, right? It sticks up a little. All right, anyways, let's go ahead now and get the other things in. So we got these side pieces. So this you have to tuck in first underneath. Okay, and then again you have the 2 clips on the side that are going to make it a little tricky. But pinch that, get that in, and drop that. Good, perfect. Second side, again this needs to slide in first, but you do have to also try and pinch that thingy in down. Come on, there we go, and there we go. Perfect. All right, let's get the rest of the screws in, and we should be good to go. Okay, pinch the 2 pieces together, tighten the screw in. Perfect. Have to get underneath this layer again, the adhesive. Okay, get that up. Get the screw. Okay, pinch the 2 layers together, screw that in. Perfect. Stick that back down. All right, last 4 screws, 2 on each side of the hand grip. I don't know what you call that. I guess. Right, pinch the 2 layers together. Tighten that down. Perfect. The other one. Get that in there. Okay. Pinch the 2 layers together. Oops, sorry. I'm accidentally pushing stuff, but anyways. Okay, my hand was pulling the joystick. All right, and the last 2 screws here. I don't even know if I was showing you guys because I was trying to hold it so I could work on it. So that one, and the last screw here. There we go, and then we just got to get these pieces on. Line it up. I think it might be easier to get this bottom one in first. Okay, get the bottom in, and then actually it kind of snaps in on its own after that. There we go. Okay, and then the other one, same thing. I think it's easier to go the bottom first. Get those in. Once you get that in, you kind of push down here and in, and there we go. And that's pretty much it. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Again, if it did, like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. and if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, again, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and like and comment on those as well. I also have another channel called It's Been Reviewed and More. I currently post those videos on this channel as well, but hopefully as everyone subscribes to that one, I'll be able to stop posting them on this channel. So there you go. Anyways, again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye.